Well, hey everybody, John Ritlin here, and this is my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Japan Cup Night 2 event. And this was fun. The main event is the main reason this gets a thumbs up, and a big thank you as always, Jim, for sending me that. I really do appreciate it. Pull above my head here somewhere, vote there, and leave in the comments what you guys think. As I gotta admit, I thought quite a few of the tournament matches, well, at least two in particular, they weren't bad, but they were kind of weak. And I'll get into that in a bit. I'm not knocking the talents. I'm just, with a lengthy tournament, you're going to get that. And yes, I originally was going to put this with night 3, but, just because I wasn't going to have time, I found time to watch it at work because hooray for slow days, or at least the first few hours. So I was like, okay. I found, bottom line is I found time, so hey, why not just present the review to you? And it's probably going to be a short one because there wasn't a ton noteworthy except for a couple matches. Kevin Kelly, Rocky Romero on commentary. They did a really good job. Starts off with Taiji Ishimori and Chase Owens versus Yoshihashi and Hanma. And this is mainly hype for the fact that Yoshihashi and Chase are going to be facing off in the tournament. Hanma lost to Taichi the previous night, so he is out of the tournament. And Ishimori, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, I mean, he's just there basically to team with Chase, Bullet Club and all that. Hanma did get beat up. He did get some good strikes in. Yoshihashi with some good strikes, some really good speed. A couple Kokeshis hit, including a falling one and a diving one, the diving headbutt and the falling headbutt. But in the end, Chase's package pile driver pins Hanma for the 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's pretty obvious who was going to take the pin here. That's the one thing is sometimes predictability isn't bad, but in a lot of these tag matches, you can pick out, oh, I know who's going to take the pin, and you get it right almost every time. But still, the matches are fun. And then we get Suzuki-gun members, Minoru Suzuki, Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Taichi versus Kojima, Yano, and Ishii. Taichi and Ishii are going to face off in the second round. And you got Suzuki facing Kojima soon, and Davey Boy Smith Jr. facing Yano. And this was just more, Suzuki-gun jumping the bell, a lot of action and everything. Just Suzuki absolutely just destroying Kojima and Ishii, doing rotating leg locks because that's just how scary he is. Kojima comes back with the chops and this kind of stuff, doing, all the corner chops and all that, and angering Suzuki. But Kojima's tough enough to be able to handle him, I'll say that much. You get the usual Yano antics. He just kept antagonizing Davey Boy Smith Jr. since, he's beaten him before in tournaments. And then Yano gets tagged. He gets ganged up on a bit, though. Yano does reverse a powerbomb kind of into a weird pin and pins Davey Boy Smith Jr. And boy, Yano gets laid out afterwards, so does some young lions, because Minoru is upset. When isn't he upset? But it was what it was. I mean, Yano got the victory. I don't know if Yano's going to beat Davey Boy Smith Jr., but it would be kind of cool if he did, only to just see how angry, what kind of fallout there is. But not a bad match. And then we get Sabre Jr. and Taka Michinoku versus Evil and Shingo. And if you remember the previous match that had pretty much all these guys in there, it was pretty much Taka taking the pin. Of course it was. It was not bad. I mean, you had Evil and Sabre Jr. because they're going to face off in the tournament, battling out here. Shingo did get tagged, but he did get ganged up on a bit. Taka actually got in some good offense. But in the end, pump and bomber, and then another pump and bomber, big old clothesline, 1, 2, 3, and Shingo pins Taka. Not a bad match, but nothing spectacular. Probably the most throwaway tag match, that was on this card. And then Juice, Ibushi, and Goto versus Sonata, Bushi, and Naito. Boy, Bushi and Ibushi in the same match. Oh boy. I gotta be careful when I talk about this one. Ibushi and Naito starting off the match much like they did the previous tag match from night 1. Crowd was absolutely electric. Thanks to my co-host, I now, sing a song every time I hear, it's electric. So LIJ takes it to the outside. There was some great double and triple teaming work done in this short match. It wasn't very long. Juice, of course, hugely over and everything, doing some great stuff. He was out of the tournament because Chase had beaten him. That was certainly shocking and blew up that part of the bracket for me. Things pick up, but Pulp Friction ends up pinning Bushi for the 1, 2, 3, and a nice little match. Of course, Bushi was going to be the one to take the pin out of this because you got to give Juice a win. I mean, you got Bushi pin Juice. Well, what are you going to have happen? You're going to have him face him for the U.S. title? I mean, you could, but I don't know if anybody would buy it. Nothing against Bushi. He's a great athlete. But anyway, we then get to the final tag match, which is Shota Umino, Nakanishi, Taguchi, and Colt Cabana. And Nakanishi and Taguchi in matching rugby gear. I mean, well, maybe not matching because Nakanishi's considerably bigger, but it's still pretty funny. Nakanishi looked like he was having fun. And they faced off against Tanahashi, Makabe, Nagata, and Tenzan. And essentially, yeah, you had Nakanishi and Nagata are not in the tournament anymore. They got eliminated on night one. This was mainly about, I mean, mainly about Shota really arriving and Shota taking it to Tanahashi and taking it to him and not backing down because they're going to face off in the tournament, I believe, tonight, if I recall correctly. And yes, I will be reviewing that one live. So that one will be up sometime in the morning. But that was pretty much what this was about. I mean, yes, everybody got in. You had some humor with Colt and Nagata, and Makabe got in his shots and everything. But this was really all about, Shota and Tanahashi. Shota showing no fear, and just wanting to prove himself, but wanting to take, Taka, or Taka, wanting to take Tana down. He might be able to take Taka down, but he's trying to take Tanahashi down. He's not going to take Tanahashi down, but it would be interesting if he did. Boy, that would blow up the entire bracket. But yeah, in the end, King Kong knee drop from Makabe pins Nakanishi for the 1-2-3. And then Shota and Tana are still fighting afterwards. Shota even throwing one of his fellow young lions away to get at Tana again. That was some good storytelling. It's going to end up being a 5-minute match and Tana's going to win. Well, we'll see. Henare versus Archer, Lance Archer. This was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a complete squash. Henare starting out hot, trying to beat Archer right away, hitting with the big powerbomb, taking outside, focusing on him and beating him up and really doing a good job. The problem is then soon after Archer took over, and even though Henare got some offense like a Samoan drop, in the end, well, got a blackout, and that pinned Henare for the 1-2-3. Now, Henare did better than I thought they would have him do. I mean, and because Henare, I think, is a really big star, and Archer has been around for a number of years. I didn't have as much of a problem with this one as I did with the next one, because the next one was very throwaway. I predicted that Archer would beat Henare. I feel bad because I wanted Henare to win, and hopefully maybe he will be in the G1 field and actually get a couple wins, because I think the guy's a big star. A big star in the making. I mean, not a big star yet, but he certainly is improving. And then we get Hikuleo versus Mikey Nichols, formerly of TM61 and the Mighty in NXT. Power versus speed. Jado interfered quite a bit. He interfered, at one point with the cane. He would interfere later in the other match. Hikuleo slows it down, gained some good moves. This was so throwaway, though. Mikey using a good combination of speed and power, because he's actually a pretty strong guy. He misses a moonsault, but he does instead, end up hitting at one point kind of a variation of Blue Thunderbomb 1-2-3 on a big guy like Hikuleo. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, Mikey Nichols moves on. I got that one wrong. I didn't really care about that one though. This one was okay. I give credit to both guys, but it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything, blow away. And then we get to Bad Luck Fale versus Will Ospreay in a good match. The problem with Bad Luck Fale matches is he's better in tag teams, and he's good for what he is as far as a big man, a giant, and stuff like that. He doesn't necessarily need to work long matches, because it kind of exposes the fact that he's really just, working like a monster heel. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you can only work that style in a long match, or in a match for so long, before it kind of gets stale. Fale, though, is a legit athlete. I do worry sometimes because he seems to be clutching his knees a lot. I hope he is okay, and not just selling. But Will attacking right away. Jado doesn't interfere. Fale takes over, using his power, staying on Will's back, beating him up. Will does hit a lot of hard kicks, including one really stiff kick. I mean, it sounded like a freaking rifle shot going off. It was amazing. More Jado using the cane, stuff like that. Will, however, ends up getting, because Red Shoes ends up, being bumped. Why in the world does Red Shoes needs to find better shoes so they can actually give him power to stay up and not get knocked down all the time? Shota, help your dad shop for shoes. Like they're gonna watch this. But Will gets the cane. He gets the cane from Jado because Jado got in the ring, and he canes Jado and just repeatedly canes Fale. I mean, repeatedly canes him. Fale does end up, however, later hitting the grenade, pull the pin grenade, but he doesn't, I can't do it like Fale does, but it doesn't work. Just two, tries for Bad Luck Fall, that doesn't work. Will ends up getting a, you know, her Karana pin, 1, 2, 3. Even though it seemed like Fale's, one of Fale's shoulders was off the mat. Oh well. Will moves on. I mean, I had that one right, so at least there's that. And then the one I'm really glad I got right, Okada versus Michael Elgin. I don't like Michael Elgin. I've made it clear why. Google Michael Elgin scandal if you want to know why. I will say that this was a terrific match. They do work well together. There's a lot of great power and speed stuff. Elgin breaking out the crossface, focusing on the shoulder, doing that kind of stuff. That was a throwback to his Ring of Honor days, what little bit I remember of them. There was a good series of near falls and everything. Okada coming back, doing some, you know, really good stuff, hitting some good, you know, a couple good drop kicks. There were times where I thought, crap, they're going to have Okada tap out, because there were a couple variations of the crossface later in the match where I'm like, well, shit. God damn it, not again. I don't want to see this happen. I mean, you know, I didn't want to see Elgin advance, especially over Okada. Sorry, I just didn't want to see it. But there were close near falls, a dragon suplex, and then the tiger bomb, but just for 2. Yeah, so Elgin almost having him. Rainmaker countered, another crossface. But then, eventually Okada was able to hit the spike tombstone, you know, just spike pile driver. And then, Rainmaker, 1, 2, 3. And Okada gets a victory, and they have a show of respect at the end. Elgin obviously upset. He wants to beat Okada. But that didn't end up happening. I will say it was a good match, and it was a good main event. It's going to sound really harsh for me saying this, but I'm going to say B-. I liked a good amount of the tag matches. I liked the card overall, but really, to me, unless you... Not everything needs to be a 30-minute classic, but to me, a couple of the, you know, especially that Hikuleo, Mikey Nichols one was just kind of throwaway. Hanare and Archer was fine for what it was. Both guys put in solid efforts, but it was still short. And Fale and Ospreay, it was what it was. I'm going to say B-. I know it sounds a little harsh, but I still did enjoy it. And again, pull above my head, so please let me know what you guys think there. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I will be back for night 3. See you soon.